Hello folks, welcome to OTD, also known as On the Deck, where you can get all the sports you need in 10 minutes. My name is Adam Orduna. This is my mom, Gina.
He is the journalist.
She's the enthusiast.
I must be an enthusiast for sports if I'm out here in this cold.
Yes.
It's like 20 degrees out here.
Yes.
No, there's no snow, and yes, it's sunny, but it's cold outside.
It's very cold. It's winter. It's December, and we're very close to Christmas time.
We are. Let's show off your sweater a little bit.
Yes, we've got our ugly Christmas sweaters going on.
Can they see yours? You got a reindeer.
I've got a reindeer. And
I have the jolly old Saint
you got
Nick.
jolly old Saint Nick. So we're very festive and happy to be bringing you the show. It is Saturday here,
Yes.
and we will be doing our shows on Saturdays. And so with kind of what happened to me over the last couple of weeks, with me getting a new job, and now I'm full-time reporting at a new television station, we have to modify our show times a little bit, so we will be broadcasting our shows on Saturdays now.
Saturday's a great sports day.
It is a very great sports day.
It's a wonderful day to report the sports.
Exactly, especially today, because generally today, which is Saturday, is college football. Well, today we actually have some NFL football, and that actually took place last week as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to break down where every team is at, or at least the division leaders, and who are some of the teams in the hunt for the playoffs right now. After this weekend, we have one more week of regular season NFL play, and everything's on the line at this point in time. Some teams have already locked up their playoff spot and position. Some teams are scrapping and fighting to see if they're going to have a chance. And so these next 2 weeks are very important for a lot of these teams.
Very important, very.
Well, let's talk about some of the things that took place this last weekend.
Oh, you mean the Chiefs kicking butt and taking names?
Well, yes, that was for sure something that happened the last 2 weeks, really.
They really did. But you know why I'm up on last week? Because not one single analyst anywhere who wasn't us picked the Chiefs.
Right.
Everyone. Oh, the Chargers are on a 7-game streak.
Yep.
Oh, Philip Rivers is a hot.
Exactly.
It was a 30-13.
Smack ya,
Up at Arrowhead.
smack ya. Exactly. Well, another thing that took place besides the Chiefs just dominating was some big matchups between the Steelers and the Patriots, and then there was
a cough on that.
Exactly. And then we had another big game as well that we need to talk about, and so the things that we're trying to bring up here are what happened with the refs. There were two games, the Cowboys game and the Steelers game, that really made some things that the calls that they made that weren't.
They just don't make sense.
They weren't football plays.
Well, they don't make sense to the naked eye. Can I talk about the Steelers?
Yes.
Okay, so the Patriots, for some reason, the Steelers' defense just went crazy and left a poor safety or a corner to go one-on-one with Gronk, and Brady took him down the field and then finally scored on an 8-yard touchdown to somebody else. But the Steelers come back. Big Ben's at home, doing everything he has to on a good kickoff return, or I don't know if it was a run back. We get down within like the 10-yard line, whatever.
No, it was a big play.
It was a pass. It was a pass. That's right. It was like an 80-yard run after the pass.
Juju Smith.
That's right, because they were backed up, all that. So anyway, you make the big play you need. Everybody's like, oh, Juju should have scored. Juju did everything Juju needed to do. He got you down to the 10-yard line. Then you get a play from Ben Roethlisberger to Jesse James with 28 seconds left. And it's a touchdown. James catches the ball. He turns, reaches for the goal line, crosses the goal line, hits the ground. Touchdown. Only it's not a touchdown because they go back and do replay. Even though he was in control of the ball actually part of the ball touched the ground after it crossed the goal line, and so they overturned it. Now, the Steelers still had a couple more plays. They were out of timeouts, but they could have gone out there and spiked the ball and then kicked the field goal. Sounds like anything else. Some of the people get against the Patriots want to throw an inside slant. I don't get it. But that's basically what happened. He faked the spike, threw an inside slant, which got tipped and then picked off the end zone. Patriots win again. That is the luckiest dab-blasted team in the history of teams.
Yeah.
But the point was not about how the Patriots won. The point is about the refs overturning that call. And a lot of people are like, what is a catch in the NFL?
Correct.
You get the ball, you're in control. It wasn't even moving. He was in control of it. He goes to the ground, crosses the goal line, and then because the ball touched the ground after he crossed the goal line, it's not ruled a catch. Now, if you're a runner, you can fumble that joker.
Right.
All you have to do is break the plane. But if you are a receiver, it can't touch it anywhere. And that just feels weird to me. The goal line's the goal line.
Yeah, it has caused a lot of conversations these last couple days about what is an actual catch in the NFL. And we've all seen what happened with the Calvin Johnson ruling with his catch a few years back. Dez Bryant against the Packers, exactly. And so now you have this Jesse James play where he catches the ball. Big Ben throws it to him. He catches the ball like the 5-yard line. His knee actually touches the ground.
But nobody touched him.
At the 3. He isn't touched. NFL rules, if you're not touched while you catch the ball and you're down, you can still go forward. You can still have forward progress. Then the ball crosses the plane. Therefore, it should be a touchdown. And then he falls and then the ball hits the ground. So it should have been a touchdown. But that's one aspect of the game that was crazy. It was how the actual game finished with the Steelers and their play calling.
I know. And at the end of the day,
that made it worse than what it was. Yeah.
But the point is, what is an actual catch?
Yeah.
And I really feel like the NFL needs to go back and revisit. I do understand the concept that you have to be in control of the ball all the way through. But if a runner can lose the ball and the ground can't cause the fumble, why does that not apply for a receiver?
Well, and then another referee situation was the Cowboys, I believe it was the Raiders last week, where there was a first down that was very close, and what they did was they like took a piece of paper or like folded a note card and tried to determine if it was a first. And it was just like, what kind of analytics is this? We've got people in New York. We've got all these different camera views. How can we not get something like this right? You know, it's like, where are we right now with the referees? Remember a couple years ago when they had the replacement refs and people were like, oh, we got to get them back, the real refs back. Well, we have the real refs right now, and it still is all over the place.
Well, and let's be clear, they got Division III refs because Division I football said, no, we're not giving up our refs. But at the end of the day, it's like, it's either a first down or it's not.
Right.
And part of the thing was that people felt like it was a bad spot to begin with.
Correct.
They felt like Dak Prescott had gotten the first down and they spotted it poorly. So in a way to make up for it, they just gave it to him.
Right.
So I will say this, Adam, I feel like it is human error, and that's part of the reason you play the game.
That's true.
Yes, sometimes the game does come down to inches or this or that, but you got to make the right call the next game.
Correct.
You know, the Steelers should have spiked that ball and kicked it.
Yep, exactly. The next play is what matters.
And that's why and that's really what football is. It's always the next play.
Yep.
Now, when you run out of next plays, you can be mad at the refs. But at the end of the day, the refs are part of the game. They're part of the field. How many times have you seen a ref get in the way of somebody running?
All the time.
All the time.
It happens.
And you get in trouble if you roll him over, so you got to go around him. You know, the refs are part of the game. Sometimes there's human error. Sometimes they overturn it. Sometimes they don't.
Right.
It just is what happened. I do feel like the NFL has to revisit the rule about catch. But look, if he caught it, was in control of it when his knee went down, and then he makes the second effort, to me at that point, he's a runner.
Yeah.
Not a receiver. But all that being said, it was crazy for calls.
It was. There was an interesting weekend, and it seems to happen like that. Some weeks,
especially as you get to the end of the season, I think.
There are some weeks where games are all over the place, and there are some weeks where it's not.
Yeah.
So, anyways, let's go ahead and talk about where all of the teams are within their division. The Chiefs are still number one. The Steelers are number one. The Jags are number one, and the Patriots are number one on the AFC. And then for the NFC, you still have the Eagles at number one, the Vikings number one, the Saints at number one, and then the Rams at number one as well.
Well, luckily, everybody's in action. Nobody gets bye weeks this late. So you've got the Vikings, who number one again in their division, are taking on the Packers. The post Aaron Rodgers gone, now Aaron Rodgers back Packers. So that will be interesting, and it is at Lambeau.
Right. Well, they put him back on IR because they lost. They were going to have him play, but now they're going to go back to Brett Hundley. So it's like, what? You should have just kept him out the whole time.
Well, they thought he could be.
Exactly.
He was out. Then
if he won, then they were going to keep him. But now that they lost, then they're going to keep him out.
So Vikings are at the Packers. You've got the Rams, who are a surprise team to everybody. I'm actually low-key rooting for the Rams. They're taking on the Titans. I think that's going to be Rams. Falcons at the Saints. I think that's a bit of a gotcha game. And then the Raiders are at the number one Eagles right now. And then on the other side of it, you've got the Dolphins are coming to the Chiefs on Christmas Eve. The Bills are going to the Patriots. The Steelers are going to the Texans. Poor Texans, my Texans. And then the Jags are at the 49ers.
Right.
So do you want to just rapid fire make your picks?
Well, there are still some teams that are in the playoff hunt as well.
Oh, that's right. You got the Seahawks and the Cowboys.
Yes.
Fighting for their playoff lives.
And so those are going to be some two teams really fighting it out, and so we'll see what happens there.
Well, do you want to just rapid fire? You got Vikings or Packs?
I'm going to go with the Vikings.
All right, Rams, Titans.
I'm going to go the Rams.
I too am going Rams. Falcons, Saints.
Probably, I don't know. It's a toss-up game. Probably go with the Saints, I guess.
I'm going to go with the Saints as well. Raiders and Eagles.
Probably the Eagles. Yeah.
Dolphins at Chiefs.
Chiefs, no brainer there.
Bills at Patriots.
It'll be the Patriots. Yep.
Steelers at Texans. It will be the Steelers. The Texans are just slipping through.
Yeah. Exactly.
Jags at 49ers is interesting. The 49ers, Jimmy Garoppolo is showing some fire and some life. I don't think they're going to get the Jags this year, but I think watch out for next year.
Absolutely.
And then you make the big picks on the Seahawks versus the Cowboys.
Man, that's tough. You know, I like both teams right now. I think with Dak, you know, being able to hand the ball off to Zeke this week, it'll be interesting. It's at Jerry World, so I might give the nod to the Cowboys.
I think, though, because the Seahawks got embarrassed last week, they're going to come back and play well. I'm actually going to edge out the Cowboys and go with the Seahawks this week.
All right.
It's not what I necessarily want, but I think that's what's going to happen.
Well, that's why we watch the game, to see how it turns out.
Human error is always part of the game.
Well, we want to say we appreciate your time, folks. Thanks for watching.
Next Saturday.
We'll see you again.